Night of the Horrified presents Fresh Popcorn.
Happy Pride Month. So I thought it only fair to give a review to one of my favorite docs that came out in the year 2019, which was last year. Now, I can't recall if I've ever reviewed a documentary on here, but here goes. Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street, sets the record straight about the controversial sequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street, which ended Mark Patton's acting career, just as it was about to begin. Scream Queen follows Patton as he travels to horror conventions across the U.S. Now, most of us knew who Mark Patton was. Hell, I'm friends with him on Facebook, but none of us knew his struggle behind the scenes of one of the most homoerotic horror sequels in film history. I always loved A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. It connected with me. Here was a tale of Jesse struggling with his inner demons, who just happened to be Freddy Krueger. But also, as I grew up, the movie took on a more personal influence on me, and I caught on to the subtext. What we get with Scream Queen is not so much a behind the scenes of Nightmare 2, but more of the damage the film did to the Patton's career. It destroyed him. The doc dives into Mark's early years on stage with Robert Altman. It hits on his struggles to get where he was when Nightmare 2 dropped, and also it reveals the horrors of being a closeted gay man in 80s Hollywood. Press clippings, archive footage, TV clips, and more take you on a journey back when the AIDS epidemic was an honest-to-God mass killer, and the press and magazines whipped up the gay panic after the death of Rock Hudson. We travel with Patton to horror conventions. He tells his story and joins the horror community as they celebrate a film that has become beloved in its later years by the gay community. The doc is an up-close and personal look at the personal hardship Patton has faced, as well as career-wise, losing his partner Timothy Patrick Murphy and being stricken with bitterness towards the Elm Street franchise. The doc is more than a character piece or some horror film making of. It's a journey of healing. As Mark meets with co-stars, including Robert Englund, the film's director Jack Shoulder, and of course the film's writer David Chaskin, who blamed the gay subtext on Mark for years. It's an inspiring, heartbreaking, and uplifting tale of one man's journey to put his own Freddy to rest. It's a coming-of-age epic, part AIDS saga, and ultimately a love letter to the fans. But this one should be seen whether you're a fan of Nightmare on Elm Street or not, because Mark Patton is indeed a Scream Queen who paved the way for generations of LGBTQ fans. In fact, our queer horror community is growing stronger, and it's due to people like Mark. Check this one out, because Mark Patton is a hero, and Scream Queen, My Nightmare on Elm Street is indeed a batch of fresh popcorn. You can watch Scream Queen today on VOD, physical media, and streaming now on Shudder. Happy Pride Month. I'm Lee Evans for Night of the Horror File, and this has been Fresh Popcorn. If you want your project featured on Fresh Popcorn, drop us a line on Twitter or through email at horrorfilemailbag@gmail.com.